This episode is brought to you by Whitaker Garage Doors, your one-stop shop for all things garage doors, proudly based in Peekskill, New York. Your home is a direct reflection of your personal style, and let's face it, your garage doors are the first thing people see when they pull up your driveway. Whether you're looking for the timeless charm of a classic carriage house door or the clean, sleek look of a basic wood finish, Whitaker Garage Doors offers traditional options for every taste and budget. I can personally vouch for their incredible service. When I had my own garage doors done, I was blown away by their timeliness, professionalism, and overall respect for their clients. Jonathan, Cassara, and their entire team are top-notch, and they really go the extra mile to ensure you're happy with the final result. So if you're in the market for a new garage door or need some repairs, give them a call or find them on Instagram at Whitaker_doors. Don't forget to tell them you're a friend of Dave's over at the No Snooze podcast. Whitaker Doors. You won't regret it. Now, back to the epi. Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? I welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. I am Dave Regina, and this is the No Snooze podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 213. As always, I'm in the booth with a phenomenal four. We have Claudio the Voice, Valenzuela, Taylor, the Nurse, Russo, Hana, SYR Rukaj, and I am Dave, the Body, Regina. Hana Rukaj is the founder of SYR and partner in For Her. With over 20 years of experience in beauty, spa, and wellness, Hana is a leader in the industry. She founded SYR, a modern men's lifestyle brand offering patented skincare and grooming tools, as well as the first skin and laser studio for men's aesthetic needs. She later launched For Her Spa, a destination empowering women to look and feel their best. A family-oriented, travel-loving visionary, Hana is passionate about innovation, excellence, and empowering others in the beauty industry. Taylor Russo is a dedicated registered nurse. Taylor transitioned from hospital care to aesthetics 2 years ago, combining her meticulous attention to detail with compassionate care. Committed to excellence, she constantly refines her skills to provide personalized, effective treatments, helping clients feel confident and radiant. Taylor's passion for aesthetics shines through in every treatment that she offers. Ladies, I am honored to have you here at the podcast. Welcome to the No Snooze Podcast.
Good morning.
Hello.
Top of the morning. Energy is on fire. Listen, before we get started, I'm always transparent on this show. So I asked these two girls, I said, girls, ladies, please send me your bios. So Taylor sends one word, nurse. That's all I got. And then Hana, I don't know why you're laughing. Homegirl sends me her resume. She sends me a resume for the past 20 years. So we'll start there. But I just want to say thank you both. I believe in the both of you. I believe in your product. It's been a blessing to connect with you guys and to really reconnect with Taylor. Yeah. And don't worry, I'm going to let you guys talk in a second. But funny story, I was Taylor's camp counselor at Slam Dunk basketball camp 15 years ago. So hopefully your injections are a little bit better than your jump shot. Even though back in the day, you were a stud athletically too.
I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. Hana.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we connected originally, right? Like, I know it was obviously through Taylor, but what enticed you to kind of get on board with our Action Cultivates Excellence movement?
Well, initially when we started, we just had SYR. And what I realized through creating this men's brand is that I needed to align with men who take care of themselves. So a man who's into fitness, who's into mental health, is really looking to better himself. Part of that comes along with man who's going to take care of his skin. So on the business side, it made the right alignment. Once we actually got to know you and got to know Ace, it was like, okay, this was the best decision. This was the right decision. Because the men that we've encountered that have come to the spa that are part of the network really do want to take care of themselves inside and out. So we can handle the outside part and you handle the inside part.
Listen, I love that answer because the other side of things could have been like, listen, I looked at Dave, he was really disheveled. I wanted to give him, I wanted to change his life and give him good skincare.
That was part two, but I mean, let's talk about the positives.
But no, I am, listen, I am very grateful for the partnership, as I said, but also we like to align with women-owned businesses as well. You know, even though Action Cultivates Excellence started redefining masculinity, we know a huge part of life encompasses women. So we like to surround ourselves with strong women, and that's why it really worked out well. Taylor.
Yep.
All right. The nurse.
Yep.
Right. You actually became a partner in this.
Yeah.
And I think this is very valuable because from my understanding, I don't think you cut a huge check to become a partner, right? And as somebody who's on the younger scope of things to be owner in a business, right? I think that's super dope. But Hana must have saw a value in Taylor. So Taylor, tell me a little bit about, I guess, how your partnership started and then how it felt to be included now as a partner in For Her.
So me and Hannah connected. She reached out to me. She needed a nurse injector. I just got certified probably like 6 months before that. And when we connected, I just was thinking like I needed a fun nursing job. I needed to get away from the hospital a little bit, you know, so I wanted to get into aesthetics. I was always that, I mean, I wasn't always a girly girl, but I mean, I liked the makeup. I liked the aesthetics part. So then when I became a nurse, I decided to do Botox. And then I kind of just looked at it as something fun to do that to, I guess, do on my days off. And then me and her just like clicked. I don't know. It was a good, we were both on the same page. She was very understanding with my, you know, crazy nurse schedule that I was like, all right, like maybe this could do something. And I was like, it was men. So I never really even knew that men did Botox or like anything like that.
Brotox, all right?
So I was like, she was like, it's for men. And I was like, all right, like I'm down. Like, let's try it out. Like, I guess we'll see where it goes. And then it just went from there.
Yeah. Now, from your perspective, what did you see in her? Because she's obviously humble here, right? She's not going to say,
Very
I came in, I did my job, I was on time and this and that. But for you as an established business owner, like you had a lot of belief in her. So what was it about her that, you know, really, I guess, solidified that where you wanted her to be a partner in there?
Before I get there, I've learned throughout these years and being partners in businesses that, especially in the service-based industry, we're not a factory, so it's not gonna, like going to McDonald's, every burger's the same. So we're working with people that use their hands, and there has to be consistency and there has to be dedication. And when you find those gems as a business owner, especially within the aesthetics industry, you have to retain them. So the business side is finding that person you want to retain. Then there's the personal side. Can I work with this person every day? But Taylor, since day one, she's very mature for her age. Like, she's way more mature than I am. Way more mature. But she's loyal. She's responsible. She's honest. She's dedicated. Like, these are qualities that you want in your circle, you know? And when you find these gems, you do not let them go. And I've learned that because from prior businesses that those were mistakes my previous partners did. And it was like, dude, why would you do that? And it's like, once I found her, I'm like, I'm not going to make that mistake that everybody else did. And she has the ability and will be able to like build our army. Like, she's that good. She just gets it. And it's when she knows something, she'll tell you, I know it. And she's honest. Well, maybe I need a little bit more in this. And so the honest part is key and crucial within our industry. But she has the ability to be able to take what she knows and then train others. So on the business side, she's going to build our army. Like, it's
no
I'm
pressure.
so excited.
Yeah,
No
literally.
pressure.
But
you know,
she's just, you know, it's And she, again, it's the qualities, it's the honesty, it's the loyalty. She has respect. She's mature. She's dedicated. And it's like, who wouldn't want to work with her? Who wouldn't want to be partners with her?
I think that message is great, even for young listeners. You know, like you didn't have any intention of being an owner in a business, right? But it just goes to show that hard work, commitment, loyalty, a standard of personal excellence really can take you far. And these are the types of stories that you hear, like, oh, like the business kind of just fell into my lap, you know, which is an amazing thing. And I just want to be clear, I never had any level of a facial, never mind Botox or any of that, until I actually stepped into SYR. And CV, we can actually throw into the YouTube a video of me, yeah, you know, because a lot of people listen, but a lot of other people watch. The video of me kind of getting that facial, yeah. So we'll enter that in so everybody can see. But what an experience! What a relaxed environment. And I consider myself a pretty boy, but never in that aspect. I never went I never went to a massage or a facial or anything like that. And just what an experience and what a product you guys have to make a man feel not only welcome, but kind of like a king. Like I sat there and I was like, well, I want one of these every week. Like, why wouldn't I do this? And it makes so much sense. As I was talking to Sean about this too, just about the initial partnerships, he's like, it makes so much sense because we take care of ourselves in every other aspect of life. Yeah. But the typical man, I'll speak for myself, right? I was using gym soap for my hair, my beard, my face, my underarms. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have any level of skincare. Maybe during the winter when like my hands got a little dry, I put a little lotion on it. But it really stopped there. So I just want to be clear to guys who maybe have never thought about elevating their skincare. Go try it out. And I'm not just saying this because this is a partnership. This was me doing this before a partnership even existed. So just want to be clear on that. Taylor, where did your passion for nursing come about? And kind of getting into the game around 2020, everybody knows it as like COVID times, which sounds crazy to be a nurse. How was that?
It was hard. I mean, I worked in White Plains Hospital I was a nurse tech. Even prior to COVID, I was still in school. I was a sophomore in college and I was like, maybe let me go try to see if I even like the hospital scene. I honestly, with nursing, my cousin Nicole is a nurse. I mean, I always looked up to her, but I guess I just took a shot in the dark, honestly. I mean, my mom passed away when I was young, so that I just wanted to help people not feel that way. So, and I was like, if I could help people, then it's kind of like, that's what I want to do. Like, I can never see myself sitting at a desk, working a 9 to 5, not helping anybody. So 2020 was very hard. But getting into it, it was like, it kind of like pushed me more to like, loved ones couldn't be with their family members when, you didn't know if they were going to get out of the hospital. So it was like, that was my job to make sure that family was involved in all their care and like okay with everything and, FaceTiming them and making sure that they like got to see them. So, I mean, it was just like, I never wanted anybody to feel like the hurt, I guess, that I once felt before, that I like knew what they were going through. So, I mean, that's
a beautiful thing. But also I want to say thank you. Thank you for your service and your dedication in the field. I had my daughter. She was born June 16th of almost messed that one up. June 16th of 2020, which was a very tough time in the hospital. And there was this one lady, I'll never forget her, and she was the best nurse that I've ever had, and she like really made so much impact on my life just because she was able to put me at ease. As a brand new father in the hospital during that time. So, I think society did shed some light on nurses, but not enough. I mean, I remember seeing videos and pictures of like those masks are uncomfortable. And I mean, you guys were wearing them for 12, 15, 16 hours a day. So, I know we're far removed from COVID, but I think everybody needs to stop, take a second, and realize the work that went in during that time. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hannah.
What's up?
I like how I'm switching back and forth here. You've held a lot of positions in the wellness industries. And believe me, I know you sent me your resume for the past 25 years. But one that I want to pick your brain on is your time as a director of business development.
Yep.
And that was for Completely Bare,
Yes.
if I'm correct.
Yes.
You helped launch 7 locations there.
Yep.
And you elevated revenue from about $3.5 million to over $5.5 million.
Yep.
What are 2 skills that you focused on during that tenure to scale the business? Tough
Just
question,
2?
right? Yeah, I was gonna say.
2?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You can give me what you got.
So that company, that brand, and that owner, she was my mentor. And learning innovation. When everybody was going left, learn how to go right. When there's a white space, if everyone is doing everything a certain way, find how to make it a better way of doing it. Like what's more fun or more innovative. What she did at that time, this was back in 2005, was there were no med spas. There were spas. So which was traditional, the massage, body wraps. And she was one of the first to take technology on the market. It was laser hair removal. When laser hair removal was at its prime, where, 6 underarm sessions were like $750. You could do like 5
I need about
sessions on the
45
leg.
sessions over here.
We know.
What she did was take something that was clinical and made it cool. And so finding a better use for something or finding a more innovative way of using it, which then led obviously to SYR, and taking that model that she took and made hair removal fun and cool. And we had every celebrity come through that door. We were in every top fashion magazine, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, every reality show, everywhere from the Jersey Shore to Kamora Lee when she had hers, to Good Day America, NBC, Good Day New York. Like we were everywhere. And I just learned from her just to learn how to be innovative.
What's her name, Hannah?
Cindy Barshop.
I was gonna say
I'm
you
sorry,
keep
yeah.
you keep
Cindy
saying
was like-
you can mention it.
Yeah, sorry. So Cindy Barshop, love her. She was my mentor, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. And I always reference that if I can replicate my company's team dynamics the way we had it at Completely Bare, it's a grand slam.
That was one skill. You
That
said
was one
innovation.
skill.
So now give me another
Innovation.
Because I like that.
Yeah.
That's not something that I would have thought right off the bat, but it makes a lot of sense. But that's a significant scale, like going from 1 to 7 locations, and then $3.5 million to $5.5 million.
And that was during 2008 through the financial crisis. That was the year we grew 20% year over year.
Wow.
Why? And the other part is learn how to build relationships. Everything is a relationship in life. And even now when I took SYR to market, I'm using relationships that I've established 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And that was really the big key. Like we had a free Super Bowl commercial. Why? Because I had a great relationship with the Groupon rep. 2010,
insane.
you can look it up on YouTube, Elizabeth Hurley. Groupon had a collab with charities. So they took 4 of their brands and they took 4 different celebrities, and Elizabeth Hurley was ours. And it was talking about the Brazilian rainforest because we were known for the Brazilian wax. And she references not all deforestation is bad. And then, segued into Brazilian wax. But we had a free Super Bowl commercial.
Wow.
Yep.
That would be something to include in your bio next time.
I mean,
And she's mentioning NBC, Good Morning America, all these things, and you send me your resume. I love
2010 Super Bowl.
No, that's incredible though. That's probably like a maybe $5 to $6 million slot at that time.
Yeah,
Right
and-
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the great part about it is one of them, they caught slack because just whatever, how people are very sensitive in the world, and we were just able to piggyback off all that free press. But yeah, free. And why? Because of the relationship that I had with my Groupon rep, that she loved us, she loved working with us, and she was like, hey, I have this account I think would be great, and we got the plug.
Wow.
Now, I would be remiss if we don't mention, you said cousin who?
My cousin?
Yeah, who's
Nicole?
your cousin? Cousin Nicole.
Yeah.
So shout out cousin Nicole.
Yeah.
But also shout out to your 2 sisters
That's right.
who were great friends of mine in college. 2 of my favorite people, Christina and Sarah.
Yeah.
We'll throw Maddie in there too.
Yeah.
I don't want to get any flack for leaving them out because she's actually the one. Christina, right?
Christina's
the one. Go
the
ahead.
reason that I even messaged you, and I was like, I'm not messaging. I think she pretty much wrote the text message to send to you on Instagram because I was like, what am I gonna say? And she was like, you need to message him. I'm pretty sure she even said you could get on his podcast, and here I am now.
There you go.
And she was like, yeah, she's the reason pretty much how we got this relationship started.
That's how I get myself in trouble, by leaving it out, because they both would have been texting you like, that's messed up. You left me out. CV, those are two former Valiants, by the way. Three former Valiants. Yeah, Matt too. Taylor, switching to a little bit more of a serious thing.
Yeah.
You said something that the reason why you like going from nurse Taylor in the hospital over to aesthetic nurse is because it's fun for you.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge, though, from going from a hospital setting to the aesthetic side of things?
So, I mean, I really wouldn't say it's a challenge because I look forward to going to the spa. But I mean, don't get me wrong. The hospital, you need to just flip it off. And as soon as you walk out of there, you need to just decompress when you go home and all that kind of stuff. Going to the spa, I would say, is more just fun. I mean, I take my nursing skills and, asking people what their history is and making sure that they're a good suit to even get the treatments that we offer. So I need to keep that in my head, but I would say it's just relaxing to just get out of the hospital, go to work and say, that didn't even feel like a work day. I saw girls walk out of here feeling confident, even guys.
And guys, hello.
And guys feeling confident. And it's it makes me happy because it's oh, I did that to them. In 2 weeks, they're going to see their skin glowing after the Botox. Then they walk out in facials and they're glowing now. And I'm oh, you look good. Go have a day for yourself. I don't know. So I wouldn't say challenge per se, but I mean, it's just very different. I feel like it's two separate parts.
Well, and what you're saying is you're shutting the mind off.
Yeah.
Right? That's the challenge because, again, I almost feel like a nurse surgeon from my experience watching Grey's Anatomy over the past couple months. But delivering a message to a family member that maybe somebody has lost their life or a procedure didn't go well, that's very challenging right there.
Yeah.
So being able to switch that mindset is something that I don't think you acknowledge in terms of your skill set. That's major because a lot of people, they would not be able to do that. You would hold on and not be able to compartmentalize.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still walk out of there sometimes and it's a week later and I'm I wonder what happened to that person. I wonder where their family is. Because you build those relationships with them. And some of our patients, I'm in critical care. So I have to see them some of them for a good amount of time. And it's just they get moved to a different unit. You can't go find them pretty much because HIPAA, obviously. And it's you wonder constantly what's going on with them. Are they okay? Where are they? So, but that's the biggest challenge is to turn that off, especially when helping people look great and beautiful and whatever else. And it's there's still people that I could still help even when I'm not in the hospital.
Sure. Hannah.
So.
Are there any innovative devices or treatments that you guys offer at your spas that you believe are game changers in the industry? Because for me, I only know a razor and a buzzer, but you got all this other technology going on in the spas. But what's been a real game changer in the industry for you?
We'll speak about SYR and then we'll talk about for her because a lot of tools and technologies we'll use on both sides, but sometimes we use them a little bit differently. Yeah. So for men, laser barbering, that's our trademark service. Innovator, we were the first to do it.
What is that? Explain that.
So what we compliment the barber. So you have an amazing shape up, right?
Tell me more.
Yes.
Tell me more, girl.
There's no closed toes and you have an amazing shape up. But you get ingrowns in the front of your neck, right? Sometimes for shaving, yes or no? Fact or fiction? I can see it from here.
Well, I actually don't utilize a razor. My barber just hits me with no. I can't use the straight edge on my neck because then I get ingrowns. He uses the electric on me,
right?
And that just goes once a week,
right. But what we would do is compliment him.
Okay.
And you like a specific line and shape up. So we use barber tools and we actually use our laser hair removal device. So we start to permanently remove the hair here.
Wow.
Or we can remove it here. Or we can move it back of the neck, front of the neck, full face. It really depends on the shape. We do precision laser barbering for men.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Right when you think about that and you're able to break it down, I've read it on the website. I've talk to you about it, but when you break it down like that, it's very dope. I like that. Is that on the women's side too?
We do laser hair removal, so we use the same device, and we actually have the first portable FDA approved laser from Diogo XOD. I do have to mention them on today because they're a partner of ours. And they've been dope with us throughout this whole journey. And we can actually go to someone's home with this device and treat them at home. And so you're getting a medical treatment, a medical laser device at home. So what we use in the spa, we could travel to someone's house. So we could do laser hair removal, we could do Botox, and hair rejuvenation, exosomes. So exosomes are all the rage.
Hair rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you're gonna bring back my hair if it's gone,
We are going
or if I'm losing it.
So what we're going to do and what it can do, because it's variable, so we can't guarantee results across the board, like in any aesthetics. Everything is variable. But what we can achieve is your hair getting thicker. You can expect some new growth. Is it a hair transplant? No, you got to go to Turkey for that.
Right.
But when you do go to Turkey and you come back, you come see us
Yes.
because you're going to need that, maintenance afterwards. And
Gotcha.
so we've had a lot of great success with it. A lot of great success. And we could do that for both men and women. On the woman's side, what we just launched and we tested last week, don't laugh, is salmon sperm. So we did microneedling with PDRN. It's salmon sperm. There are a lot of brands out there now, and what that help does is rejuvenate the skin, helps with collagen production, wrinkles.
Yeah.
And it comes from salmon sperm. Yes, I said sperm.
No. I hear you on the sperm piece, but now it's gonna bring me. Now it's gonna bring me to something even more vulgar. I saw actually something online that said that and it was a woman saying this that she was utilizing her partner's sperm on her face for skincare. Is there any? I'm being dead serious, CV. I'm not really joking here. Is there science behind this? Sperm
I don't know about
on the face
science. I know there's protein in it, but
for skincare.
I mean, we're gonna go there. Let's go there.
Hey, I mean, listen.
If you really want to have that conversation, I mean, if that was the case, the whole world would have great skin. I mean,
That's
Not
true.
wrong.
Yeah, no, but that just made me think of it because I'm like, wait, salmon sperm.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that clip.
but no, the salmon actually does work. And I actually text Taylor the next day and
Yeah.
I sent her a picture. I was like, wow, look at my skin.
Yeah.
And it's just getting better and better looking. And I'm pushing 50, by the way.
God bless.
Thanks to Taylor. I'm pushing 30.
Taylor the nurse.
Yeah.
How do
The nurse.
you incorporate self-care into treatments for both men and women? And do you think that beauty and skincare have a larger role in the mental well-being than we realize?
Yeah. I mean, I say that just because your skin is your largest organ in the body. So skin is considered an organ. So, I mean, if you're not taking care of that, then you're not going to feel good mentally. So I feel like skincare is just going, I guess, to the gym kind of you want to feel good after it. So you need to take care of it to feel good. I mean,
so for you, no, I'm picking this out because when I think of myself,
Yeah.
right, guys don't really associate that with the mental well-being.
No.
But for me, one thing that I've done for years is I get my hair cut
constantly.
Friday every single week.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And when I left SYR, it was the same exact type of feeling, right? So I think for men, it's not as normal. For women, because you guys, and I could be generalizing here, but the women in my life have always, whether it's my mom, my sister, my girlfriend, whoever, have always taken better care of themselves when it came to, I guess, the skin than my dad growing up, right?
Yeah.
So I love that you guys are normalizing this for men.
Trying.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Trying.
We're getting there.
Hopefully I'll help with this too.
Yes.
Are you looking to elevate your brand with captivating visuals and immersive sound? Look no further than the home of the No Snooze podcast, Kai Visions Productions, your go-to destination for cutting-edge audio and video production. At Kai Visions, we don't just create content, we create experiences that leave a lasting impact. From podcasts, YouTube variety shows, sleek corporate videos, to attention-grabbing promotional campaigns, our team of experts is dedicated to turning your vision into reality. Choose Kai Visions for a production experience like no other. It's time to make your brand known. Contact us today at kaivisions@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Kai Visions. Kai Visions Productions, where audiovisual excellence meets innovation. Now, back to the epi. What would you say are the most common mistakes that you see clients make, and how can we avoid them? Like, is there like a specific type of, I guess, ingredient in products we should be avoiding? Or you smirking? I don't know.
You can do that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
talk to me.
I'll speak to that. So I've been in product development for years through various companies, and I personally learned throughout this journey and working with different labs that, and I just spoke about this a few months ago at a youth program that I'm affiliated with, where look at the ingredients on whatever it is that you put on your face. If you don't recognize it, don't buy it.
Oh boy.
Don't buy it. Right? Going back to referencing Taylor, your skin is your largest organ. So why are you putting something on it that you have no idea what it is, and it has 67 letters to form that one word?
I might get myself in trouble here. One of my favorite soaps of all time is Old Spice Swagger. Oh, no. Is that bad? I use it on my face, my butt.
Well, you're going to stop
my
that.
beard.
So what you put on your face, you're not going to use in your butt.
No?
So get 2 different soap
yeah.
pouches for it.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, because, what
CV,
if
can you
didn't
relate? Can you relate?
I don't know what the ingredients are, so I can't speak to.
And just to be
how
clear,
well.
I use my face first, and then I do my
Doesn't
butt.
matter, because then you're going to put it back on, and it's
No,
going to sit there. Then
no,
you're going to put it back on
I
your
do
face.
new pumps. Like, I pump for the face, and then I
it's not a
wash
bar.
the hands.
Oh, I think
no.
it's a bar.
I thought it was a bar.
Oh, no. I'm not
okay.
putting the bar in my
I was
butt. No, let's not get crazy here. CV, you want to jump in there? Is that you guilty?
We're not going
There
to
you
talk about
go.
dropping the soap.
I may get myself in trouble. So, is this a misconception? I have a question.
Shoot.
Soap is supposed to clean you. So even if you use it in your, on your armpits and your butt and your face, isn't soap supposed to be clean? So even if you use it in your butt, it's clean?
Yeah, well, it depends that everyone uses the same protocol. So if you're in the shower, imagine this, you're in the shower washing your face, and then you go and you clean your rear, and you just put it on the soap dish in the shower.
So if you do a little
Is there
bit of,
any residual? I mean, that's...
well, I hope
Yeah.
not. You
I
gotta
mean,
go,
you're hoping not, but if someone's
You're
not
needing a
thinking
different
early
kind of-
morning, there was times where I used conditioner instead of shampoo because I didn't wake up yet. You know what I mean? So are you...
Well, that's why as men, you use the 12-in-1. It's just one product.
Well, to be clear, I do have some separate items, and it's been because my wife. I think when you
I was
live
gonna
with
say, a
with a
female.
female, you kind of, because when you're by yourself, you're right. It's like the one soap is for everything, But as you kind of enter relationships and you hang out with ladies, then your own thing changes a little bit. So I do have separate things, but I did think that soap was supposed to be clean. So no matter whether it goes down, up, and yes, I'm not talking
But
about.
you clean the soap off, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course, you
Talk to me
have to
about
do
your
like a
skincare.
little one of these
Yeah.
things and rinse it off.
So
and,
you use actual bars?
So I started using a bar. Oh my god, the name is slipping, but it's like an organic bar. It's kind of trendy nowadays. Not Bigfoot.
Back to squash.
Yes, that's
Yep.
the one. Back to squash. Is that
Yep.
good or no?
Very good.
Oh, let's
Dr.
go.
Squash?
Oh,
We
yes.
have our own, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
I'll
I mean,
leave some
I
with
used
you.
yours.
I used
Yeah.
yours. It's very good.
Or
I've
organic.
been using it now for probably like 2 years or so. And I wasn't even using bars before then. I was doing like the loofah thing and
Yeah.
that whole thing. But then the loofah thing was getting annoying because then after a while it gets like all decrepit. And,
You gotta replace
and I'm
that.
not
Replace it
one to
every,
replace
month.
anything. I'm like using
Wait,
the
that's a
same
gem.
one for.
Hold on. How often are we supposed to be
Every month.
One loofah per month, not per
Yeah.
year?
No way.
All right.
All the bacteria
I'm,
that
just, I'm
just
not
sits on
saying I
there.
do it.
Remember,
I'm
it's
just
wet and it sits in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Even
give
when
it
you
squeezes.
leave.
You
Yeah, but
squeeze.
it's
I'm a
still-
strong man. You squeeze and it comes. It comes out.
Get a new one every month.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Every month.
that's
I mean,
a lot.
But you
I don't
also
even wanna
don't want to
tell you.
use it every day because you could over exfoliate. So it really depends
Dries
on
out
how
your
often.
skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it
Lot of
about probably
variables.
twice a week because other than
Yeah.
that, I'm in the gym rushing. So it's very different. But yeah, so like my girlfriend has, we have 2 shelves. Right, mine has
One
2
thing?
products on it. Hers has 22 products on it. It's unbelievable, but her skin looks. I'll give it to her. It looks a little bit better than mine. All right. Can Taylor speak to the importance of consistency, and especially for me, like I'm a leader in my life. I really focus on being consistent and disciplined. But when it comes to skincare, I don't really do that. What's the importance of consistency in skincare routines, and I guess the impact it has on results over time?
I mean, consistency just with work, the gym, everything. You have to let it build its results. So same thing with skincare. It's like you have to keep doing it to see the results. It's not, oh, I'm going to use this new face wash or moisturizer and see the results within like that. So, I mean, it's keep doing it as much as you can, but it needs to be wash your face in the morning, wash your face at night, moisturize, like use sunscreen every day.
So you just said two things that I know most dudes are not doing. Most dudes are not waking up and just washing their face, right?
Yeah.
Most dudes.
Yeah.
Like, especially before I go to the gym. Like, I'm not washing my face, and I'm also not putting sunscreen on. And I would bet that the majority of men,
Yeah, don't.
please correct me if I'm wrong, men, I hear you, so talk to me. But I bet you they're not putting sunscreen on their face every day. Is that something we're really supposed to be doing, not just at the beach and the lake?
It depends on your lifestyle. Like if you're
I'm
gonna
outside,
go out,
baby.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm outside. Only when it's
I
nice,
mean,
though.
it really depends. Like it really depends on your lifestyle. Are you out? I mean, if it's raining, let's be honest. They say you should, but if it's raining, there's no UV damage.
And SPF
there.
what? What are we talking about? I use SPF 4, oil. Italian, Sicilian skin,
30.
baby.
30.
30?
Anything
Oh,
above
above
30,
30?
it's all the same.
Really?
You'll see 50
What about
and
for my daughter,
100.
though? Babies should be using more, no?
Baby.
Like 50?
30.
80?
Really?
The difference between
My
a 30
daughter's
and 50 is
Puerto
like
Rican
I was
Italian,
gonna
so she's
say,
got good skin.
she's got good
Yeah.
skin.
She's got
She
that
gets
melanin.
dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
she does. But yeah, no, I would say I put no, maybe for her I do more 50, I guess. But for me, I'm anywhere between like 4 and like 15 max. Is that bad? But now I'm just coming to you. If I get wrinkles, you're taking them right out, so it really doesn't even
Well,
matter.
there's the long-term issues of sun damage could lead into.
You don't see yourself in business long term?
No, I do
What are we
see
saying?
myself, but I want to be real and honest.
Yes,
so
please,
the whole
talk to
idea
me.
we got to talk about skin cancer, and I'm not a dermatologist and I can't speak to a
Mm-hmm.
lot, but you have to look at your family history, and so there's a lot more skin cancers and melanomas occurring now.
Yeah.
So which there's a big push,
For sunscreen.
and part of that has to do with the ozone layers and everything that's going on in the world, and it's true because when I was younger, I never burned, ever,
Really?
never.
You didn't burn?
Never burned. I
Really?
would just tan. I'm Albanian, Eastern European, and I would just tan. And now I'm noticing that now I start to burn. And I don't think it's due to age.
Wow.
I think it's more due to the environment that we're living in now. So just taking little extra steps and precautions.
Speaking of extra steps,
Yes.
you gave us a couple, but go back and forth between what you guys believe to be like the most important things that specifically men
Okay.
should be doing on a daily basis when it comes to skincare.
Don't smoke.
Okay.
Hydrate.
Hydrate. Okay.
Limit
Okay.
alcohol.
Okay. I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 3 for 3. Wait, so this plays into skincare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is good. And I will say this: when you were close to my face with the needles, and you were close to my face squeezing, you both said that I had thick skin or something like that. Was it
Yeah.
thick skin? Does that have to do with like hydration? Because I drink a ton of water.
No.
Any correlation
Men.
there?
Men
What?
typically
Men
have
typically,
thicker skin than
Oh,
females.
so you were just giving me a generic thing.
No.
I thought it was a good compliment.
It's a great
Oh,
compliment.
all right.
Okay. You do have awesome skin.
Thank you. Thank
now
you.
that you don't have crow's toes
That's
or any more
right.
pimples
Nothing,
that
yeah,
we took care of.
That's right.
But typically because men have oilier skin, there's this whole big thing that men age better than women. Why? Because of oil production, testosterone, where females' estrogen levels drop, our skin gets drier, it gets thinner, and men, it just gets better and better. So it's almost like our skin ages in reverse between male and female.
Okay. So we got 3. We got limit alcohol, don't smoke. What was the third? Hydrate. And none of those have to do with like your actual product. So like talk to me now. Is there like, should we be putting lotion on every day?
Here's the thing. How often do you shave, right? Because here's
Me?
the difference between men and women.
Not so
So
often.
because men typically shave,
Yep.
not you. I'll keep you out of this. So Sean probably shaves every day or every other day. And because you're shaving, you're exfoliating your skin, which is another reason why men's skin is different than women. Because you're exfoliating and then there's cellular turnover of the skin cells. So that's another reason. That's why women have to exfoliate and do these other things that men are just normally doing every day, every other day, or every third day, depending on how often he shaves. So you should moisturize, or an aftershave cream that is a dual moisturizer,
Okay.
similar to SYR's anti-aging face and
There
eye
you go.
cream.
Sell it, baby. Talk to us.
It's a 3-in-1.
Talk to us. 3-in-1s? I like
It's
that.
like a 3-in-1. It's an
like that.
aftershave, moisturizer, and treatment cream in
I like
one.
that. And I use the anti-aging cream
Yeah,
for the eyes.
it's a face and eye. So it's a
But I
dual
can't say
purpose.
that's an everyday thing. It's like when I open my drawer and I see it, I'm like, oh, psh. And
Yeah.
I think of you guys every time I do it.
But you really do have great skin, and a lot of it could be due to genetics too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And this is I think what I would say most men probably struggle with. If you have decent skin, you're kind of taking it for granted, and you're not really
Until it gets bad.
putting anything into it. Like I never really struggled with acne. And I do have oily skin. I wear a lot of hats and headbands and stuff. So sometimes I'll break out here from sweat and stuff like that. But I would say from like a hygiene level, like I've always like prioritized being clean and stuff, but never a real priority behind like the skincare piece. But as I get older, I am finding myself when I do go outside and it's like a beach day or something like that, I am prioritizing sunscreen and making sure that I'm putting something on because I really don't want to look old. Yeah. Like I want longevity in my life, right? And not just physically like from a muscular standpoint, but also like I just don't want to be one of these jacked old looking guys. Like I want to be jacked and young looking, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But one thing though that the teen market, or like my son's 15 now, he'll be 16. The younger generation is taking more care of themselves into grooming. They have cologne collections. They're looking at ingredients. Because of TikTok and social media, it's made them more aware. I think it's the older generation that needs more hand-holding, where my son and all his friends, like they talked about like, oh, how did you treat your acne? Mom, he's using this. Can you get me this product or whatnot? So I think it's become more of a generational. The 30 plus needs more information, where the younger generation kind of knows what's going on because information is readily available.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think was I talking to you about? I think one of my girlfriend's nieces. I was telling you she bought like an expensive product.
Charlotte Tilbury.
Yeah. So what was that
or-
conversation we had? Can you remind me of it?
they're younger the 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
They want makeup.
Like
God.
$80 like face
Yes.
cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
My
Yeah.
daughter.
Callie's not getting that.
Yeah.
No.
Because social media, they're
Yeah.
looking at it. So these kids are being chased with, oh, you need this, you need Drunk Elephant, or you
Yes,
need
that's what it was.
Drunk Elephant.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a product that was like really bad and you were like, wait, this one is like
They want like hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
okay, so talk to me
Hyaluronic
about
acid is actually a great product, right? It's a great ingredient. The question is, who formulated it? What is it mixed in? What other ingredients are mixed in it? And when you're 10 to 18 years old, maybe 20, you don't need those products.
What's the purpose of hyaluronic acid?
Because it hydrates the skin. So hyaluronic is it's a water magnet. So once you infuse it, it's supposed to hydrate the skin, right? There's different ingredients have different purposes, different vitamins, but that's hyaluronic acids. It's to pull moisture or water to the area. But these young kids, I get so annoyed because they're growing. Their skin is nowhere near. When my daughter's like, I need concealer, I'm like, for what? You're beautiful. And she really did. If she did, I would tell her, like, all right, put a little bit on. But, she doesn't. And I get annoyed because you have these young kids that's going to start messing with them mentally about how I look. And when you're 10, 11, 12 years old, you should be out there playing, having fun, not worrying about what your skin looks like. It's a different generation. That's the one part of our industry I can't stand, because they're targeting kids. And they're making billions of dollars targeting children.
Now you got me thinking though, and I'm sure Taylor can relate to this with your nieces, right?
Yeah.
Like Callie the other day, she watches Katie do her makeup, and Katie's got an elaborate skincare routine, and she's got the lotions, and she's very like meticulous about what goes on her face. And then she's got this thing that looks like a brown sponge, and she like dips it in like a makeup thing, and then starts
Taps it on her
patting.
face.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blender. It's called a beauty blender.
Okay, a blender. So Callie went into to her like little makeup kit, and sure enough, there was a little sponge in there, and she starts dipping it in the glitter, like whatever glitter that's there. But now I'm thinking like, I thought it was cute at the time, but is this bad for her to be utilizing or
No.
fine.
Wait, it's she's
It's like makeup with glitter in it.
play,
It's play
yeah.
stuff, but
It's
it did come
play
out
stuff.
like she had glitter on her eyes and stuff.
Yeah,
And then
but
she's like, "Don't I
that's-
look beautiful?" I'm like, "Yeah, one's blue, one's red." And great.
that's her having fun
Yes.
because
Yeah.
she's seeing it, and that's about being girl, and that's where like the For Her brand is about being fun and flirty and feminine, right?
Chill with the
It's-
flirty. All right, my daughter's 4. All right.
Wait till she turns 14 and she has a
Oh,
boyfriend like mine.
no.
But there's a big difference between going to buy an $80 skincare product when
Right.
you're 10 and thinking you need it versus she probably looks up to Katie and wants to emulate because she's
Yeah.
beautiful and she's a beautiful soul. And, you know, she's just, that's what being a girl is. Like you want to put makeup on. And that wasn't me. I was a tomboy because I had 2 brothers, but that was more Taylor.
My nieces, I bought them makeup for Christmas.
Oh, okay, good. So you're doing.
Oh my God. Bad decision. Bad.
There you go.
They come down with bright red. I got them
Yeah.
like a little cute little
Yeah.
blush
Yeah.
like thing with all the brushes and whatever else. Like they're all around the same age.
Yeah.
8, 6, 5. So I mean, they all like have fun with it. And I got them the beauty blender to kind of pat on their skin, whatever. And oh my God, bright red. And they think that they should walk out of the house like that. I'm like, no, we're wiping it off before we go anywhere.
yeah.
They're gonna like,
Yeah.
who knows what people are gonna think? And then the eyeshadow, it's up to here above their
Yes.
eyebrows. I'm like, all right, let's just wipe it off and we'll put it back on when we get home.
See, I dive into this stuff. So like Callie, you know, if she wants to paint my face, I let her rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
It's
really
fun.
think beyond. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's fun for now.
Makeup is fun. It's the other stuff that I have big issues with.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like with the whole
Hyaluronic
skincare
acid.
stuff,
Oh,
and
gotcha.
thinking
Okay.
that there's something wrong with you,
Yep.
right? There's that they start
Right.
the mental wellness at a big,
At a young age.
yeah.
I want to switch you over to Botox and Brotox. Okay. What is, I guess, preventative Botox, and is this safe for everyone?
So safe for everybody. I mean, it depends on, you know, we need to, like I said, this is where my hospital mindset comes in because, you know, if you have clotting factor, like if you bleed easily, if you have like all these medical things or medications that you're on, you may not be a good fit for that just because medically, you know, it may not be good. But I mean, like we were just talking about younger kids. Preventative Botox should not be for, you know, the 15-year-old who thinks that she needs all this stuff done to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's getting younger and younger. So, I mean, as an injector, like I have to know it's okay to say no to these younger girls and say, your skin looks great. Like keep doing whatever you're doing, but you don't need this right now. I would say preventative would be, I mean, I'm 26, so I would say preventative would be like 20s to 30s, mid 20s to 30s. And it would just be like a tiny amount to just prevent those deeper lines that are going to start to form as I get older. I mean, once you hit 25, you start losing your collagen. You start everything. I mean, I guess as you age, it just kind of falls and it gets worse. And
Not if you see Taylor aesthetics.
but I mean, that's what the Botox does. The injection will stop that crease from getting worse. Would I say do it every 3 to 4 months? No, maybe start off every 6 months, or when you start to see that it's coming back and like all that kind of stuff, I would say do it. But for men, same thing for guys. I mean, if that crease in your line is starting to bother you at 26 years old, I mean, there's nothing wrong with fixing it.
Fixing it. So I never thought about it, right? But like I was telling you guys all fair, like Sean and I had this Sean had a real epiphany
Yeah.
because we were having lunch, the 4 of us, him, Jackie, Katie, and I, and you know, I was like, Sean, yo, you smiled. You got a lot of lines on your head, bro. He's like, really? He's like, let me see yours. And then I did it. If you look on YouTube, it's not really moving too much. There's not too many lines. He was like, yo, that's crazy. But as a guy, this is not something that we're
No,
thinking about
of course
until
not.
then you do it and you're like, oh, shoot.
Oh,
Okay.
like, yeah.
I think a lot of guys, and including myself, I don't want to look like plastic.
No.
You know, so I think the way you do it and the way that you made me feel very comfortable is like, you were like, Dave, like, we're going to
You're still going to have movement in your face.
Yeah, and we're going to do a very little bit. Like, you don't need a lot. And it made me feel good. Like,
Yeah.
and then a couple weeks later, probably within like, I don't know, 10 days, I started to notice a difference. You guys mentioned a term, I believe, one time to me, smart talks.
Yes.
What is that?
Smart Tox is actually known as Xeomin. It's made by Merz Aesthetics.
It's what?
made by
It's
MERS. It's called the brand name is Xeomin.
I thought you said semen. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
again. All right,
No
all
sperm in
Not
this
again.
one. No sperm in this one. So Xeomin is, they refer to it as a smart tox because there's about 4 or 5 brands out there. So Botox is the most known. Then you have Dysport from Galderma, and then there's Xeomin by MERS, and there's Latibo coming out from Korea now, and then there's Daxxify. There's a bunch of them. The key differentiator is that it doesn't have proteins in it. So someone who has typically who has an autoimmune disease is not a candidate for Botox or Dysport because this protein is missing out of Xeomin. We can offer that treatment, offer the wrinkle reducers using Xeomin for someone who has an autoimmune disease, depending on which one.
So that should be disclosed and would a typical nurse injector ask that type of question prior to injecting
Yeah, that's in
someone?
your
The
medical
medical
chart.
history
Yeah.
form.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
That all of this is reviewed prior to making sure someone is a candidate for it. Just because you want it doesn't mean we're going to give it to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And now, why do you think that some people look a little bit plasticky? Is it simply because they're just doing too much?
There's threefold to that. Some patients want that.
To look like
Really?
that.
Some people, they're like, I want to look frozen.
Yeah.
She gets that.
Yeah, all the time.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is frozen the same as plastic looking?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't
Like-
know why I'm saying plastic looking, but
Like-
Like, where your eyes
Can't
are up
move.
and
You
they're like,
wouldn't know
Yeah,
any
okay.
expression
Yeah.
if they were happy or
Okay.
angry. Yeah.
yeah.
But then you know what kills me is like, especially on older ladies, then their neck doesn't align.
Well, you can put Botox there too.
Yeah.
Well, they should because they got a 90-year-old neck with a 40-year-old face. It looks crazy.
Yeah.
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 Or it could be the person, the injector wasn't maybe trained properly and
Yeah.
either over injected them or,
Right.
it's variable. It could be what the patient wants,
Yep.
what the provider gave them, what product did they use, how often are they going, variable.
Variable. Hannah, what's been the hardest part of balancing, I guess, your family dynamic with all your business endeavors, and how do you remain so motivated throughout it all? Because being a parent and having a family is not easy, and doing all this stuff is very impressive.
It's not. I was very fortunate in life. My dad came into this country in 1971 without a pot to piss in. And by 1987, I grew up in an 8,000 square foot house.
Wait,
in
what was
White
the year
Plains.
that he came?
71.
71 to 87. Wow. Okay.
And that was after
Yeah, yeah.
having multiple real estate buildings in the Bronx. We had 5 apartment buildings prior to moving to White Plains. And he afforded me a very great life because he worked hard. And my motivation is, well, if my father can do it with no education coming to America, couldn't speak the language, and being afforded every opportunity now, I should be able to provide that for my children. Like, why would I provide something less than what was provided for me? That's truly my motivator. It's not easy. There's times that I've cried. She knows I'll cry to her. There was time my daughter just made me cry for no reason because I couldn't be somewhere because I felt like I'm not a good mom. I was like, I don't think I could come back to the spa. I'm sitting in the car, hysterical, crying. And she's like, well, I have a 5-year-old son, and he does that to me too. I'm like, why do they do this? You question yourself because I'm older than both of you. I mean, look it, but I am by age. And I grew up where mom stays at home and dad works and, mom has to be present and cook 3 meals a day and do all of this. Well, unfortunately, that's not the lifestyle we have at home. I'm fortunate that my mother-in-law does live. We're a 3-generational household, which is great because my kids got that, but they didn't get that mom always being home. And I'm like, well, I was raised this way. Am I less of a mom than my mom was to me? And you start questioning, but things have changed. Both parents now work and it's acceptable. And I try to do my best to be there as often as I can. This last year, because we're a startup still, requires longer hours, more hustling. Like the hustle doesn't stop. My brain doesn't stop. I have a great support system. Like my kids will text me how to go, or when they see we have like a certain celebrity or someone coming through, they'll be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Mom, keep going. Or mom, where the hell are you? Stop working because I need you to be here. Listen, it's hard. You cry when you have to, because if you're not crying, then you're not working hard enough and you're not doing the right thing. having the right support system from my colleagues to my family, it's important. It's like super, and it's not easy. There's no right or wrong answer. You should work 40 hours. You should put 60 hours. You got to do what you need to do to make your business survive, to get over to the next hump. And you just have to communicate with your family why you're not there. And it's not because I want to be on Dave's podcast so I can't drive you to school. It's like, no, I need to be on Dave's podcast so we could get the brand out there, so people know who we are, what we're doing, so then we can go on this vacation. Because at the end, it's about all my money. Everyone, like, I don't spend money on things anymore. I spend it on experiences. My kids traveled to 9 countries last year.
Wow.
So it's being able to afford that experience for them, which is why I work so hard as I do now.
Great answer. And it's a lot of sacrifice, but you do it well. And the one thing that I will say about you is your energy is always on fire. And I think you're very intentional about that. And that's a great skill set to have, because a lot of people don't have half of the responsibilities that you have. And every time that I talk to you, whether it's on text, whether it's on a phone call, or in person, you're very strategic and intentional with your energy. And it's something that I've gravitated towards right from day one. So you're killing it. You're doing great. A perfect example of not snoozing on life. Finding the perfect home is more than just a transaction. It's about finding a place where your family can grow, feel comfortable, and thrive. That's why you need someone who truly cares about your needs and is there to support you every step of the way. Meet Janeska, a dedicated real estate professional with 9 years of experience serving families across the Hudson Valley, covering the Bronx, Westchester, Rockland, and Orange County. As a wife of a first responder and a mother of 3, Janeska knows how important it is to find a home that feels right, not just for you, but for your family. Her background as a former educator gives her a unique ability to listen, understand, and guide you with the patience and care, whether you're looking to buy your first home, looking to upgrade, or ready to sell. With her extensive knowledge of the local market and her genuine commitment to helping families navigate the process with ease, Janeska is here to offer you the support, expertise, and reassurance you deserve. Mention Dave from the No Snooze podcast and call Janeska today at 845-694-9067 or email her at jpaulino@kw.com to start your journey home. Taylor,
3 coffees.
Yep.
I know you lost mom
Yep.
at a young age. How did that experience shape the woman that you are today? And then I'll ask you a follow-up question after that.
Shape me. I mean, I felt like I kind of had to grow up overnight. I mean, I was in 6th grade, and I mean, again, I have my dad, my 2 sisters, aunts, cousins, everybody that dropped everything for me just to make sure that I was still, having Sunday dinner and still seeing everybody and having that normal life that I always had. So I'm very lucky and grateful for them, because without them, and they kind of like guided me on the right path, because I mean, after you lose a parent, you either go the right path or you just fall off, and that's kind of it. And I mean, they made sure that I was just good all the time. My dad had to become Mr. Mom real quick and had to take on those 2 roles of having a teenage daughter with the attitudes and didn't want to talk to him about anything. But my sisters then would jump in and be like, we're girls. Like, what do you need to talk about? Like, we're here for you, whatever you need to do. But I mean, I just feel like I kind of had to grow up overnight and just be like, this is my new normal, and run with it.
And you were 10 when you lost mom?
Yeah.
And do you vividly remember those days, or is it like kind of blurry? Like, I'm trying
It's
to think
blurry.
back on myself of a 10, like, I don't know if I have 10-year-old memories, but something like that so significant, obviously.
Yeah.
shaped.
So I mean, it's bad to say, but you remember the bad, like what happened in that situation.
And was mom sick?
No, suddenly.
Suddenly.
Yeah, she was sick for like a week, and then suddenly she just was gone. So I remember that night, because I was the only one home with her. I remember that night like it was yesterday. And everything before that, I mean, she was at every single one of my soccer games, every single one of my basketball games. I can remember like certain things, and like my family is very good at reminding me about things, but some things are a blur. So,
what would you tell mom today if you had an opportunity to speak with her?
hope you're proud of who I became, and I wish that you were here.
No, it's beautiful. And I do think your sisters and your father had a tremendous
Beyond.
impact on the individual that you are, and just how much positivity and love you spread out. And I love that you're a nurse too, because now you're helping.
Like I
sick
said
people
before,
too.
I just never wanted anybody to feel like that. And growing up, actually, two of my best friends, one of my best friends lost her mom, and one of them lost her dad.
Wow.
There was a lot of kids in my town, like in my grade. I want to say there was like 12 of us that lost a parent. Wow. So I never felt like I was alone. Like I always had my friends to go like say, like I wish they were here for right now. Like, and they'd be like, we get it. And whenever I would have friends that like didn't understand it, I'd be like, I don't even want to talk to you like about it. Like you could say like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like that's just not what I wanted to hear. And like going to my like best friends who I'm still very close with today. And it's like, they're like, yeah, we get it. And I'm like, I know you do. So it was like just easy to talk to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a blessing just in itself.
Yes.
Just hearing that, like, I don't think that's typical, right?
No.
For so many young kids like that. So that's like just a different level of blessing to be able to be surrounded by young girls,
people.
right?
Yeah.
Young girls and boys probably
Yeah.
at that same time who lost a parent. What can you share with those who are currently struggling with a loss in terms of like just managing grief?
It sucks. It sucks. And day by day, and you kind of have to just see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, do the normal things that you want to do, that you were doing before. Do what you want to do. Have fun. And, just, you'll get through it. It sucks. I mean, it's still 15 years later, I lost my mom. And it's still, some days are just worse than others. But some days you just gonna be like, I need to make them proud. And that's it. So.
Thank you.
Well, you are making her proud.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
serious,
No, it's hard not to get emotional with stuff like that, but also, I'm sure just her watching over and seeing that the woman that you are, I know she's very proud of you.
Yeah. All my big accomplishments, I go and put it on her stone.
Oh,
when I passed my NCLEX, I would tape it on there. Oh. When I saved the date, taped it on there.
That's beautiful. One thing that I did notice about the 17-year resume that you sent me, Hannah, is you are an expert relationship builder. You mentioned, earlier in the episode that relationships are everything. But what do you think your goal is with that? And how can like the everyday person kind of adopt that thought process of just building relationships and the importance of it?
Well, first, you got to be true to yourself, and meaning that when you meet someone, you got to find a connection and like really build upon that connection. And it's not just about, oh, can I make money with this person? Because my whole life, all I've done is connect dots. Like if I'm connecting someone, I'm not looking to get something in return. It's not like, hey, I'll connect you with this. It's just find the value in the person, find value in yourself first. Know your self-worth, know what your value is, so that when you are meeting people, find the value in them and be honest. Like, I don't know how to put into words clearly, and you're way better than this, but when you're true to yourself and what you have to offer, or what you want to do and achieve in life, and you're meeting people, find nuggets to connect with on a personal level, because that's what you're going to remember. Like, I'll always remember you because what always stood out with me is how you are with your daughter. Like, it's the way you'll go on videos and you'll dance with her and do the makeup. That goes to show who you are as a person. The podcast is dope and Ace is dope and whatever, but that's not how I'm going to remember you. I'm going to remember you because, he's an awesome dad. Like, I seen him with his little daughter, and, you're a great father. You know what I mean? So that I recognize, right? So learn when you're rocking with people and you're working with them, like, really figure out who they are as a person. and then start building a relationship through there. And sometimes, listen, if we're going to do something, maybe it doesn't happen today. Maybe it's going to happen in a year and now, 2 years and now, and just it's. I don't know. Did I answer your
No.
question?
You know what's
what I
funny?
mean? Like,
As I'm listening to both of you, and I just want to say this from me to you guys,
Yeah.
because you guys have both said, "Oh yeah, this is your lane, motivational stuff." Blah blah.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned like, "Oh, you're way better at this." I'm listening to you, and I'm like, "Wow, she's dropping dimes." I'm listening to you, and
Yeah.
you're dropping dimes, right? And you're probably not even realizing. And I'm sure CV can attest to this
Yeah.
in the back. So don't doubt yourselves with this.
Yeah.
Not only the product is fire, but your experience is what makes this all happen. But from a relationship standpoint, especially with you, like I was a little bit more comfortable, obviously, with Taylor because I helped her work on her little jump shot. And she was great. She was tough, by the way. I'll tell you this: she was a great athlete.
Yeah.
So any of the slam dunkers that are out there listening, just know we won championships together. But from meeting you right from day one, like I typically get along with most people, but I don't really have relationships with everybody. You were one that I was like, wow, this is a great connection. Like the relationship, like it's almost like you became my homie real quick, and I didn't even know you. And now I feel like if I need you, I could call you for anything and you're there. But that's a skill, that's something. And I think you touched on something that's huge. Typically I will hear a level of like, yeah, you got to provide value to somebody else. But like something that you said first was you got to be able to provide value to yourself.
It took me 47 years to get to that point, which is why if you're younger, learn to do it now. Like know who you are, be honest with yourself. And that's I think that's the hardest part in life is being honest with someone's self. Because we all try to fit into this norm and there are no norms in life anymore. It's like going back to our house, mom stays at home, dad's work. There's no more norms. And that's okay. That the new norm is there is no norm. So it's not just because so-and-so lives a certain lifestyle, lives a certain way, great. Not everybody was meant to be married. Not everybody was meant to have kids. And that's okay. I think there's so much divorce now because everyone wanted to get married because that's what you're supposed to do. And so it's like, as you've gotten older, it's like, what do you really want out of life? Who do you want? What really makes you happy? Is a 9 to 5, that makes you happy because you love structure? Great. But are you an entrepreneur, an innovator, and it's scary to be one? Go try it. I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with this jeweler girl who left this big jewel and is going out on her own. I said, you know what you'll remember in life always is regret. You'll forget about your failures because eventually you'll be successful. But you'll always remember a regret. So either take the leap, try to do something. And if it doesn't work, at least you tried. But eventually you'll find a way to be successful. So it's just like figure out who you are and what you want out of life.
You turned into motivational Mary real quick. You came in as nervous Nancy and you transitioned into motivational Mary. No, it's fire. It's very good. It's very good.
47 years last year. And I want to say this, going back to your first question with Taylor and the why, and something that, because I can get emotional. It's hard for me to get emotional, but I speak from the heart. Like the last year, and she knows this on a personal level, has been the most challenging for the business. Investor, no investor. This is happening. Am I going to shut the doors? And when I tell you, and I will say this, she will always be a part of this life, always be a part of this journey. She's not going anywhere. She'll never have to sign a non-compete because I'm not that person. But she held me down and the two other girls, Elena and Olinda, this last year. It's like, show me your circle and I will show you your net worth. And it's not about the money. They've held me down. I was so used to holding everyone else down for all these years, but they've been there for me through probably the most challenging in business, also in personal. And I will forever always be grateful, always. Even if she leaves tomorrow, she still has an equity. I'm putting that out there. It's in the ether now. So, but that's how much I love Taylor. I respect her as a human being. I respect my other girls. That's where the number 4 her came from. Because there was 4 of us.
Wow.
And that's how we started, and hopefully that's how we end the journey.
How does that feel to hear that?
She says it to me all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, Hannah, Like, I'm not one to like, I guess, I mean, I accept like compliments, but
Yeah.
also at the same time, I'm like, I'm not that good, but like, all right, if somebody else sees it, I don't know. I guess it's just like in my head.
No, I
don't know.
can relate to that, but I'll tell you this: you have to learn how to receive,
Yes.
right? And Diamandia Lingos, who's a very powerful woman that I would love to connect you guys to. She's actually a former VP of the UFC, and she's one of Sean Degnan's like great friends, connected through Ace, and she came to speak to us a bunch of times. But one thing she always, says is the importance of like being able to receive compliments, because typically, I got this eyelash in my face. Sorry.
We can fix that.
Typically, remove my eyelashes. Typically, what happens is you almost become like numb to the compliments,
Yes.
and the problem is you actually don't know how to receive it. It's a
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
So now, something that I've learned through her is I sit back and I receive the compliment, and I listen to what's being said, and I'm like, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
I received that.
Yeah.
And now putting that out there is something that's powerful. And it's like practice, right? Like same thing with skincare. You got to be consistent.
Yeah.
So for you though, Taylor, like you're getting these compliments consistently.
Yeah.
And whether that's, to your future husband, shout out to
Lucas.
Travis.
No, I was
Travis.
going to him, but I didn't know if you were I was trying to give you an alley-oop on like,
Yeah.
oh, he's the best, the best fiance ever. So whether it's through him or it's a business connection or like that, it actually exudes confidence when you're
Yeah.
able to,
Yeah,
really
receive
receive a compliment. But it's very, very
I'm working
tough
on
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Very tough. What would you say is the best lesson that you've learned from being mentored from somebody like Hana?
Never stop hustling. No matter how bad days get, you get up and do what you got to do. That's the biggest thing that I would say is never stop, and you will get wherever you want to be, I would say.
And now you believe that?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Like I feel, and I can see your confidence
Yeah.
with it too. You're not a very emotional person,
Yeah.
but when you speak, I'm like kind of reading you,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a sense of like you believe
Yeah.
that, which is
This,
great.
I mean, just even from starting, like from when I first met her to now, it's like I see it more and more now with every day. It's like the hustle and the connections that you make, they always will help you get to where you want to be. And
Yeah.
that's definitely where we're
Way
going.
up.
All of us, right?
Yeah.
Sean and I have a saying: "To the moon."
Yeah.
That's a good one.
To the moon.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Selfishly, I want to ask you, and I get both of you, from your fathers, right? As a girl dad,
Yeah.
myself, what is the thing that you look back on and like remember most about your dads? And I want to hear that like separately from you.
You
guys.
go.
piece of advice. My father was an amazing entrepreneur. But the one thing, no matter what happened in life, I was always able to call him and not be afraid. Case in point, one night I'm at the Limelight. It's 19, whatever. I don't even know if you were born yet. You definitely were not. And I didn't have a ride home. And it was 4:00 in the morning. And I called, and he came from White Plains, drove to the Limelight, picked up me and my girlfriend, and drove us back. Wow. Didn't say a word to us in the car. Like, being able to know, and that's something I do with my kids. I'm like, no matter what happens, call me. I promise you for 24 hours, I won't yell.
After that?
So, because you never know when your child is going to be in a position when they're really going to need you, but are afraid to call you. And that's when you really want them to call you.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I'll never forget that night as long as I live. Collect called at home too, because that's when there were payphones. I don't know if anyone knows.
Did it spin and everything?
It
or
didn't
no,
spin. You
payphones?
had to
Oh,
do
yeah,
the
yeah,
collect
okay.
call.
Yep.
Hit 0. I need a collect
Yeah.
call,
Yeah, yeah.
914. And then, collect calls then were like $5.
Wow. That's
Never
great advice.
forget
Got me a little nervous though because Callie's petrified of me. I mean, she
Yeah.
loves me
I
to
was just
death,
about to say,
but she's
I'm petrified. I was petrified of that. I mean, I knew I could always call him.
Yeah.
The reaction I was going to get may have not have been so nice, but
But that's where you got to start now. No matter what happens, you
Yep.
tell Cal, no matter what happens, you call Daddy. Daddy won't be mad.
yeah.
Daddy will be mad.
Yeah.
Daddy's gonna bust that
We're going
ass.
to cut that out of this episode,
No,
She's
it's
going to
good.
see it and be like,
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that's good.
that's,
I love it.
My dad, I mean, like I said, he had to take on that role of Mr. Mom and kind of dealing with emotions and dealing with the attitude that I wanted to give him constantly because, I mean, I was just at that age. Now looking back, he always made it work. I mean, he was working until 9 o'clock some nights, like all this stuff, and I had to get a ride from soccer practice, had to somehow eat dinner somewhere. He laid it all out where we had this, I mean, I'm sure him and everyone else's help, they kind of laid out this plan for me that I knew where I was going each night, who was picking me up from practice on certain days, who was feeding me dinner. And I mean, he just made it work, working full time. I mean, and he would always say, well, my grandpa had 5 granddaughters, no grandsons. And my uncle has 2 girls, my dad has 3. And they would always say, friends to the end. And it'll never be the end. And then that's what my dad always says to us now to this day, that we're just friends to the end. And that's what we get to say.
Whew, I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
I love being a girl dad.
Yeah.
I really, I enjoy it so much. Just being a parent and, seeing the different phases of life. And again, she's only 4, but it's a very exciting journey. And I always like to, pick other people's brains on their parents,
Start it now. No matter what happens, you call daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy will never
think I'm
be
gonna
mad.
take that away.
But you have to tell us you'll never be mad. Like
Oof.
I
gotta work
You
on
gotta work
myself.
on that.
I know, but it's
No, I
'cause
get that. Oof. That's,
God
that's
willing,
very
you'll
good.
I
never
was
get that
definitely
phone
scared of
call,
him.
but
Yeah, no, for sure. As we wrap up, what would you say is next for SYR and for her?
New York fucking City.
Yeah.
And then potentially
new location?
second location, New York City. We'll be on 25th and Broadway above the old 4040 Club.
Ooh.
And
So that's
then-
already in the works.
That's in the works, yeah. That's in the works. So hopefully the next couple of weeks. We'll have an
Oh.
outpost there. We're going to start. And then I've been approached to do Michigan, Detroit area, Boston, and potentially a second location in Westchester. So multiple people love the model because we're able to tap into the men and also the female. And so it allows, it's on the business side, it's strategically, men were never able to be tapped like we're tapping into. So,
Are you currently looking for investors?
yes,
You are.
the right investor.
Right, correct.
It's not about money anymore. And we actually had this conversation this morning. Literally, it's about what more can you bring to the table, because I know what she brings to the table. It's not only her hands, it's what she can build the army. So it's being able to train others in the precision and the way that she works.
I want to show you something. I'm not being rude. I'm just being on my phone. I actually had somebody reach out to me.
That's so funny. All right, now I'm going to
Read
show
this.
my age,
Oh,
right?
you gonna put your glasses on?
Now I'm going to show my age.
So I'm going to connect you to this guy.
The big boys.
Can you read that DM? You can read it out loud if you want.
Let's help our franchise. So, oh my God. So I swear on everything.
Your microphone isn't on.
Mine?
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So let's help her franchise, bro. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, bro.
don't
by
say
the way.
don't say the name,
I'm not.
but I'll connect
I was
you.
calling him bro. I
Crazy
won't read
though,
the
right?
rest. Yeah. But I'll tell you what happened. So I've been approached by 3 different people that want to open up in out-of-state areas.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I did the due diligence, licensing versus franchise, I
Yep.
would have to go when there's different owners into I literally just had this conversation this morning with her.
Yeah.
Because I said, Taylor, let's just get New York City open first.
For
Let's
sure.
make this dough. Then let's figure out how to do the franchise model, because it won't work as a
business,
licensing.
yeah.
But people are just interested. Is
Yeah.
my point in showing you that, and I kind of forgot about that. But
Yeah.
so just to be
Yeah,
clear
thanks,
to the
Dave.
listeners, just to be clear to the listeners, we had posted a bit, and this is the power of social media, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was the video that I think Taylor posted, right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
of me
That was your
getting
first.
Yeah, that was the first one, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody reached out to me just saying like, "Wow, like we need to sit down and have a conversation. That's a multi-million-dollar
I have
business
chills
right
and
there."
I want to cry. Literally, I can, but I also I'm a big believer in energy,
He's
Yeah.
a big business guy.
and we always.
But I need some
vibed.
steak here. Let's talk about it on the podcast. I need some
Let's
steak.
do this.
Put it in the air. Put it in the air.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Everyone gets a piece.
Done.
There's an Albanian expression, vec chani han vetun, only a dog eats alone.
Ooh.
Like it's today you may have a bigger piece than I, but maybe tomorrow Taylor, as long as we all eat
Yeah.
and it's quasi fair,
Yeah.
No,
it's
powerful.
that simple. It's literally
It's simple, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's also hard because although everybody should eat, everybody needs to put in the work.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And everyone needs to be okay not eating. Right?
That's the difference between a business
Sean
owner
and I,
yeah.
for the first year, we generated over $100,000. And I think combined, we took maybe 3,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and not everybody is willing to sacrifice
yeah.
and do that. And it's tough in business. Business is just tough, whether you're an entrepreneur who's somebody like inside an organization in business, or you're an entrepreneur on your own. I love that. All right. So where can everybody find you guys? Look into that camera right there, one by one. We'll go Hannah first,
Oh.
and then Taylor.
I was going to let Taylor take it away.
Go ahead.
No, you can do it.
If you don't want to send them to your personal pages, that's fine. Send them wherever you want to send them.
Okay. So Instagram. So the first 3 accounts for the business are the number 4, her spa. Then there's SYR Studios. So SYR is spelled SYR because the Y represents the Y chromosome in men. Everything we do is unique to a man's DNA. And then there's skincare for men only. My personal IG is Hana Rukaj 77, HANARUKAJ 77.
And you can find me at Tailored, TAYLORED Aesthetics. And yeah.
Awesome. We have a little code set up, right, for the ACE community.
ACE, yeah.
So ACE No Snooze is kind of
Yep.
all like intertwined. I think that code is ACE at checkout.
Yes.
Yes.
It gives you $100 off any service. Any service. So that brings that facial down to a very affordable number, which is an amazing thing. And thank you guys for setting that up. So I encourage everybody to check out SYR. Ladies, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for the partnership. I hope it was not as bad as you made it out to be. Again, I was a little nervous last night because the two of them are not giving me much at all. And I'm like, oh God. But then Hannah showed up an hour early.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, I'm going to
couldn't be
study a
late
little
for
bit
Dave.
now. But no, I just want to say from me to you guys, I appreciate the both of you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm excited
It's-
to build and grow alongside you guys.
This is going to be dope.
All right.
Yeah.
So guys, check out SYR, check out For Her, check out both of these ladies. So whether you listen to 1 or 213, we just want to say thank you, and we are extremely grateful for each and every one of you guys. The show continues to grow, and in 2024, we were a top 10% Spotify podcast. And that's only because of you guys, the listeners, spreading the message, and CV doing what he does behind the scenes. So thank you. Salute to you, my brother. As always, you can shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. And until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
Go get that facial. Go get that facial. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's another epi in the books. You can follow us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast and leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Shop the latest merch at nosnoozeshop.com. Come on.